Meanwhile, the White House is sending now the war-torn country an additional $800 million. The president did announce the measure following what was a heartfelt speech from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to Congress. Zelensky did not mince words, accusing Russia of turning the Ukrainian sky into a source of death for thousands of his people. He's calling for the U.S. to implement a no-fly zone, as he has been for a while, and provide more aircraft and air defense systems and issue additional sanctions also on Russia. He also delivered a direct message to President Biden.
I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace.
Now, we saw lawmakers from both parties praise Zelensky's message and agreed that more military assistance should be delivered. Of course, we heard Congresswoman Val Demings join us live and talk about that. Many of those do oppose the no-fly zone, fearing the move could be an escalatory strike. And joining us this morning is Kostya Kimlat. He was born in Kyiv, Ukraine. Of course, he's been on the program before and has been living in Orlando since he was 9 years old. Kostya, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Great to see you, too. Thank you for having me.
So obviously, this is something you followed very closely from the beginning. Difficult situation in Kyiv. What can viewers do right now to help those in Ukraine? Because obviously, there's a huge need.
Absolutely. So it depends. We all can help in different ways. And as you mentioned, the Ukrainian president has been asking for the no-fly zone. Short of that, they need that aircraft and anti-aircraft missile systems to protect them. It's been 1,000 missiles that have now rained down on hospitals, schools, and theaters, killing innocents. So certainly that defense and what President Biden is doing is amazing. I think also President Zelensky said to Congress yesterday that the U.S.-funded Russian market is filled with Ukrainian blood. So I think Floridians should know that $300 million of Florida public schools dollars are invested in Russian banks, mining, and oil companies. And while over a dozen states have divested their funds as a message and sign of solidarity, it's disappointing that Florida hasn't done the same. So Russia is essentially using our money as Floridians to fund their war against Ukraine. And I'm confused why our governor hasn't said a word about the war and why the Florida legislature decided not to stop using our tax dollars to support Russia. So I know it's a small move, but I hope that can change over time.
Yeah, we've seen.
And for as far as please.
I was just saying, we've seen a lot of corporations obviously cut ties. What has it been like to see images of your homeland being destroyed? Have you been able to keep up with people there? Are you able to see the images, or really just what we're able to see on the news?
Yeah, so I'm following Telegram channels that are coming both from Ukraine and Russia, so I can see the propaganda that they're spewing out there. We're connected daily to our friends and relatives in Kyiv and Kharkiv throughout Ukraine. One bright spot is that my sister-in-law, Marisha, she fled into Poland on the very first day of the invasion. My brother-in-law flew out to Poland. He met her. She was just granted a visa. She landed last night for the first time in Ukraine, joining her brother and her parents who live here in Longwood. Unfortunately, millions of women have fled. Her husband had to stay behind and fight, but there's millions more who are there. My other sister-in-law, Natasha, and her younger daughter, Elena, they're in Ukraine. They've been displaced after the city was bombed. Her brother, who you see right there on the screen, that's my half-brother, Artyom. He went back to Ukraine voluntarily to join the fight in 2014. He was shot by a Russian sniper, and he died from his injuries less than a year ago. So this conflict remains really real and very personal to us. And I know it's personal now for your network, too, with 2 Fox News journalists killed in Ukraine this week as well. It's devastating.
Yeah, it's been very personal for a lot of people. Kostya, really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much.